So to start off, we just want you to say your name and basically what challenge course you have, and then I'll start asking you questions.
All right. My name's Nicole Glenn, and I am working with sprinkles.
All right. So our first question is, why did you decide to compete in the training challenge?
I decided to compete for a couple of reasons. The first one is the more horses that are in better homes, the better. And so I wanted to be able to play a part in helping a horse get a good home. And horses that are trained obviously will have a better chance of finding a good home and having a purpose so that they'll be able to stay in that home for longer, and that they'll feel like they have a reason to have the horse other than just being like a pasture ornament. And so being able to play that part is really important to me. But another reason why I wanted to do the challenge was for a personal goal of being able to take what I'm learning at Van Hargis Horsemanship and being able to apply that to a project of my own. And so I'm not working with a client horse that has to be specific deadlines or specific goals in mind for that person, but I'm able to work with this horse to help her be the best that she can possibly be, and being able to do it on kind of on my own terms, but in using what I'm learning and applying it on my own time.
Okay. Next question is, how long have you been training horses?
Professionally, since May, so not very long professionally, but I actually just recently graduated from Texas A&M University Commerce with a minor in equine studies. And so that was back in May. And so since then I've moved to Victoria and started working with Van Hargis and working in his program. And so that's where my professional level, I guess, has started. But before that, I have trained horses throughout my college career, either for friends or at the university, helping tune up and start the colts with the university program. And then I also, my very first horse, I adopted a wild Mustang in 2018 and trained him to be my partner for our stock horse team on the collegiate level.
Oh, that's great. Can you tell me about the training that you offer?
The training that we offer here at Van Hargis Horsemanship is very much bringing the horse back to the basics and creating a foundation on that horse that is just so strong and so persistent that no matter what advanced maneuvers later on you want to do, that horse will have the basic knowledge to be able to apply all those little pieces to create something big and grand. And so if the horse doesn't have that foundation, then you're just going to cause a train wreck later on. And so by really focusing on those core values and setting that horse to think and to respond as opposed to react, we're not going to have a horse that's going to be, we're not going to try to buck a horse out to get the buck out of him. Instead, we're going to teach him how to think and how to process what's going on and how to take critique without feeling the need to blow up. And so it's really just applying the strong basics in order to allow a horse to progress that much faster. And so it's really about teaching the horse the path of least resistance. And by using that, it's amazing how much more quickly a horse will come around and will want to progress as opposed to being afraid or feeling that they're being forced into something. So that's what we really try to focus on down here, is really just those strong basics and helping a horse learn what 1 + 1 is. And then eventually you'll be able to do, well, what's 2 + 2? What's 4 + 4? And being able to progress into those advanced maneuvers so much more quickly than just being like, hey, what's the quadratic formula and how do you use it? And if you don't know basic math, you're never going to be able to do that either. So why should we expect a horse to as well?
Okay. What keeps you going and keeps you motivated to overcome obstacles you encountered when working with horses?
For me, it's the end goal is what keeps me motivated. We all have bad days. We all have things that we're afraid of. And when you put it into that perspective, I know that a horse is going to be spooked at something if they've never seen it for the first time. And I'm not going to punish them for that. Instead, I'm going to use that as a motivation to figure out, well, okay, well, how can I help this horse get over that? And as hard as it may be, or as frustrating as it may be, especially if I've worked with that horse on that thing for multiple times, well, just because somebody's scared of heights and you put them up on a mountain doesn't mean they're going to be over it. They're still going to be afraid. So you have to really work and encourage on building that confidence. And so having that end goal in mind and knowing that I have faith in my program that that horse will get there so long as I stay calm, stay confident in what we're doing. Day by day, slowly we'll get better. If you just improve 1% a day in 100 days, essentially you'd be 100% better. I mean, that's not technically the case, but just having faith in that end goal is what really keeps me motivated and going.
Okay. What are some qualities you have discovered in training your challenge horse?
I think one of the strongest qualities that I've found in Sprinkles is that when she trusts you, she trusts you. And when she first arrived, I think that was the biggest thing, was that she was snorting and blowing and just walking on a lead rope. She was looking all around. She didn't know what to do, and she didn't know who she could trust. And it was like that for a couple days until we really started working and just creating this bond of, look, you're okay now. Like you weren't in a bad situation before, and you're not in a bad situation now. And you just have to learn to control your emotions. And once she figured that out, it was like a light switch. She doesn't get panicked. She doesn't think that the world's going to end. And she has such a good mind on her that she is able to figure out things so quickly that she doesn't react anymore. She responds. She is looking for the right answer. And I think that's what's really neat about this mare, is that she wants to be right. She doesn't want to be wrong, and she's looking to please. And that once she learns that she can trust you, she really, really will.
What type of riding/events do you feel your challenge horse is best suited for?
I really think that she will do really well up to like intermediate reining. The way that her body is built, she's got a slightly down slope, and her croup is a little bit lower as well underneath her hips. And she just wants to stop. You can just feel it. I mean, the very first thing that she did, her MO was to back up. Like, her thought was get that butt up underneath her and slide those feet up underneath her. And so just with that in itself, I think she would really excel in reining. The only thing that, and I think she could really excel in a lot of things just with her athleticism. The only thing that I would probably advise against would probably be using her as like a predominant trail horse. And the only reason why I say that is I think she could do well at it, but because she is hindered in her right eye, it's not really necessarily fair to expect her to be able to process and be on her toes all the time in an environment that a horse needs to be able to hear, see, and smell everything, for not just her safety, but for the rider's safety. If a bear's coming and she's just dog broke because she's been told don't spook at anything, even if you can't see it, well, I mean, if a bear's coming, you kind of want your horse to be aware of it. But I mean, like light trail riding, I think she'd be great at, but I really think her strength will be in reining for sure.
Okay, awesome. Did you want to add about anything about Sprinkles?
I would just say that she is really becoming a really great horse, and I've been really honored and excited to be working with her. And as headstrong as she can sort of seem, once you really start working with her, she really is just a sweet mare who just wants to please. And I think that's something that's just really exciting about working with her. But yeah, I am having a wonderful, exciting time with her for sure.
Oh, that's great.
And I just want to jump in. I just want to tell you thank you. This is Amber. I'm the training challenge coordinator.
Hello.
I just want to tell you thank you so much for taking on Sprinkles.
Yeah,
I've been following you guys. You guys have been doing great. So I'm super excited to see how you guys do in the challenge.
Thank you.
Yeah, I think you guys are going to do really well. Are you planning on staying with Van Hargus Horsemanship for a while, or are you going to be trying to go out on your own?
Right now, that's my plan, is to stay with him for a little bit and really soak up as much as I possibly can. I'm hoping I'll be taking over part of his marketing stuff as well. And so I'll be kind of doing training as well as marketing. And hopefully that will allow me to be able to stay here, and maybe one day I'll go out on my own and be able to teach what he's teaching elsewhere as well, so his message can be spread and really make it about horsemanship and humanship. But for the meantime, there is still so much more that I can learn here. So I'm going to soak up in as much as I can.
Yeah, he's pretty amazing. I've seen him and watched some of his videos and seen him in person, and he's a pretty amazing guy. So
I'm
excited
really
to see what his fundamentals do to one of our challenge horses. So
yeah, it should be good. She's doing great so far, so I'm excited.
that's awesome. Well, thank you so much. We really appreciate you taking the time to log in and just kind of give us some information about you and about your training. So
yeah, of course.
Yep. So awesome. Well, thank you.
All righty. Y'all have a good one.